The next topic we're going to discuss on Boxing Bros is the Claressa Shields-Amanda Nunes fight. Now, Dana White said he's open to making that fight, which is going to lead us to have this topic, this discussion on this topic of who's the A side in that fight. Is it Amanda Nunes or Claressa Shields, and should it take place in the boxing ring or the Octagon? Start this one off with G.
All right, well, obviously, if it's in the boxing ring, Claressa Shields, the A side. But if it's in the Octagon, Nunes is the A side. You know what I mean? And it just goes to their skill sets, you know? And I really, really want it to be in the boxing ring, because if it's in the Octagon, to be honest with you, I don't see Claressa Shields winning. You know, like, obviously she has a fighting chance, but Nunes is too skilled in mixed martial arts. You know, and I believe she's smart enough to know, like, do I want to take that chance of slugging it out with a Claressa Shields, or do I want to take her down and submit her or do a ground and pound? So it makes more sense if I was Claressa and her people to have it in the boxing ring, because now clearly you have the major advantage. So I believe Claressa Shields is an A side if it's actually a boxing bout.
All right, Joe?
Give me G all the way. There's nothing else to say. He done said it all.
All right, Nick?
Yeah, I agree with G. Like, if it's in the boxing ring, she's the A side. It's wherever the fight happens, whoever decides on what.
Right. Well, I think that regardless of where it happens, I personally think that Claressa Shields is going to be the A side. And I think it's because if you look at, she's only had 9 fights. She's changing women's boxing, and she's a 2-time Olympic gold medalist for this country. I think that she'll be the A side. I don't think she's going to go into the Octagon as well. I actually think they'll make more money if it's a boxing bout. This is not my opinion, but boxing matches sell more than UFC fights. It's just the way it is. And if you look at it, Conor McGregor made his biggest payday as a boxer, not as a UFC fighter. In fact, in one boxing match, he made more money than he made in all his fights combined in the UFC. And Dana White wants to get into promoting boxing matches now because there's more money in it than actually being who he is with the UFC. Now, I make no gripes about it. I am not a UFC fanatic. There are only certain UFC fights that I would watch. I don't really watch UFC. It's not my cup of tea. It's not my thing. But I do know that UFC fighters are looking to dabble into boxing because that's where the money is. Boxers make more money than UFC fighters make, and they take less punishment. So I think it will happen in the boxing ring. I think Claressa Shields will be the A side.
Like and subscribe.
Please like and subscribe to Boxing Bros.